Anish Giri is here with us. Anish, you just managed to outplay Ding Liren, and my congrats on your victory today. What can you tell us what happened today in general first, and then let's say some variations?
Yeah, a few people already told me that it was a great game, but I don't think it was as great as it looked at the end.
Уже несколько людей сказали, что это была блестящая партия, но я думаю, что это не настолько блестящая.
Towards some point, he was the one who had all the play. He was dictating sort of the course of the game. I didn't take the.
В какой-то момент он направлял игру.
I didn't take long castle. I didn't expect it somehow, but I should have, of course. It's a very, very reasonable way of playing, and it's a very good way of playing actually for black. I just somehow didn't really expect it, and so I am not sure, for example, if queen e2 is necessary.
Я не очень ожидал длинную рокировку, хотя мне кажется, что это хорошее продолжение за черных.
I can start with c3. I can start with a3. There are two. I thought there are two queenside plans: either a3 b4 and c4, or c3 b4 and a4.
Я выбирал между a3 b4 c4 или a4 b4.
But I was very surprised / impressed / confused. No, probably surprised / confused / impressed with c6.
Actually, he also said that he was surprised during his short interview.
Dink,
he said
with the line. Yeah. It is hard to expect such a stupid line. I mean, it's the most harmless line we can imagine.
He didn't say /, but he said, I was surprised.
Yeah, for sure. And I think here at first I was happy because I thought he goes cbab. I saw c4, b5 ideas, but then it hit me that he's got c4 here, dcf5, which was very strong, I think. And then also he found immediate f5, which was also very strong.
Сначала я был очень рад, но что я думал, что он пойдет cb, ab, и дальше смогу пойти c4, b5, но потом увидел, что он может пойти c4, f5, но он пошел f5 сразу.
Yeah, which was even stronger than c4 maybe.
Что может быть даже сильнее.
And here I'm under huge pressure, and I think he sort of here black has all the trumps. I mean, at the very least he can just take on e4. I was planning to take with the queen. He can take on f3. We enter an endgame where he's slightly better at, or maybe I'm okay. I mean, I thought I should hold it, but I'm not playing for a win for advantage ever. But I think he went a little over ambitious with g5.
G5 было более амбициозно.
He can also take queen f5, then I go queen e4. But again, he went very ambitiously g4, but he missed this. He missed this knight g5 h4.
Он не заметил конь g5 h4.
And yeah, from here it was nice, but I mean, the game, it was not the like you might think that it was sort of a straightforward game, but it really wasn't. I mean,
it looked from outside.
Yeah. If you scroll like very fast like this, it looks very nice. But if you scroll a bit more slowly and you pause and like, I mean, yeah, mainly here, the fact that he can just take on e4 and take on f3 and take on c5 and just but yeah, I was fortunate.
Maybe it creates a lot of trades, and maybe it's something he didn't want.
I think he played for advantage here for sure. I don't think he wanted to equalize at this point. I think he played a great game so far. I think c6 was very creative. f5. So I think he was in the mood just to finish it off with g5, g4. But yeah, I've got this h4, and I keep my king closed. And here I thought knight f6 was the move at first, but I have I think bishop e7, g3, and now I think very strong move queen to e1. I at first planned fg, queen d7 is strong, queen f2, and let's say knight g4. I think queen f5, and I'm sort of equal, I thought. But then I realized I maybe have queen e1, and maybe it's very strong.
Мне кажется, ферзь e1 это очень сильно.
Because I'm threatening FG, and whenever bishop e6, I have always knight c5. Maybe I'm doing very well, and yeah, here he went b6. It's a small trap because d4 is very tempting with idea king b7, knight a5. But he first of all can play knight b8. He can also play move like b5, and it's a question why I opened. Because what I need to do, basically, strategically speaking here, I need to bring a knight on e4, block the c7 bishop. And then it's like if I put a knight on e4, you look at the position, it looks very beautiful for white. There's nothing going on anymore.
Стратегически мне нужно поставить коня на e4, чтобы заблокировать слона на c7.
Was also tempting, but then I take with the queen, very important, not with the pawn.
Важно взять ферзем на e4, не пешкой.
I don't think it works move by move. And yeah, he played b6. Now I can go bishop e3 back, because e4 doesn't work, because I can take, and then I take here as well, and I just have to protect from mate, and I threaten knight a5. But he actually couldn't do anything special. But I just thought to be more practical. I don't even. Maybe knight f6 was the one I thought about. Yeah, knight f6 is the move I thought about. Now I don't get to block on e4 with my knight.
Я думала о ходе конь f6, но
and
теперь я
this is
не могу
just
пойти
much
конь
more
e4.
practical. I mean,
Там у черных больше практических шансов.
I've seen like so many more dumb sacrifices performed by me that this was one of the better ones. Really, I don't think there is any. Yeah, it's just so easy to play, and my king is so much safer.
Здесь очень легко белым играть, и белый король в
Even-
сохранности.
Did he have chance not to take on c5?
Yeah, but then knight e4 is great because I stop knight f6. Also, there's bishop e7 kind of moves. He shouldn't have taken, of course. But when you suffer, you want to suffer for something sometimes. And I actually, it's one of these cases when you are so happy with the sacrifice, you think that you have at least practical compensation. But these days, usually, when you feel you have practical compensation, it's also objectively winning somehow. So I think it was just winning. I think it was better to take with the pawn as I did, and then it's important that I have this knight d6 thing. And I don't lose any time, and everything flows, so you might want to take with the rook to keep the bishop at least, one good piece, because otherwise my king is super safe. But then I start again with the tempo. Like, basically, the thing is that I don't even give him any counterplay with g3. So it all comes with the tempo. And here, the time factor is less important, even because I think knight c5 also probably wins. The thing is that he's got very passive pieces. He's got the only idea is g3, but then I go queen to b2 or to e3, and I take with the tempo. So he just has no play, and the fact that I'm a piece down is not relevant. His king has to try to run here, but he's just never even close to being in time. Also because this center is very open. I think after d4 is just. I mean, also given the time station, I don't think he can fight here. It's
Черных
very hard.
больше нет шансов сражаться.
So basically, there was a moment you thought that okay, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, the critical point came, of course, like here, I
Somewhat
realized
here.
I'm much better, and after 94, I think it just...
После этой позиции я поняла, что мне намного лучше.
I mean, yeah, this was the turning point, g5 to g4, and
Это был поворотный момент партии.
yeah, I don't know where it was. Maybe g5 is still okay, but yes, I said simplest is just to take. I don't see... I would take with queen, because if I take with the pawn, I think he has knight takes c5, he needs that f8 square, I take, and then he brings the rook to f8, and I tried to hold this, I didn't see how I'm holding exactly, and then I realized I'm going to take with a queen. Now, yeah, this is very ugly, but yeah, you can take, I guess, take, and attack the knight, and then I was trying to find the smoothest draw here for white, but I didn't see this very smooth one, but I assumed I'll manage somehow. But if I play for the e4 square, then the f3 pawn is falling, so it's not so easy. And if I don't, then he can just go into the rook endgame. For example, if I play simple with rook to d1, then he can take and play rook d5. He's just slightly better here, maybe even much better. So I don't know.
Черных как минимум получше.
Of course, I think he should have done it. It was so easy. But I can imagine he playing such a great game. He just wants to crush me. So
So he was tempted
Он
with this idea.
играл
yeah, for
отличную
sure,
партию.
it's a very beautiful. I mean, at first when he played g5, of course, briefly I was thinking that wow, this is even stronger, I guess. So briefly I was thinking I'm getting crushed, but then I saw that actually it continues, and then I was not so unhappy anymore.
Yeah, now actually I was wondering, Anish, I mean, are you thinking about this tournament situation? Who won the game? How many points now you need to catch Nepo, and about your mini match against him and stuff like this? What can you say about the tournament
Anish,
strategy for the next rounds?
Anish, что вы думаете о турнирной ситуации?
Yeah, you just summed it all up. I am behind Jan also because of the tiebreak. That was well known.
Я отстаю от Яна также из-за тайбрейка.
But it was very good to win against both Chinese players. So now
Это очень важно было обыграть китайских игроков.
it's very much a possibility that things go well, but of course it's very yeah. I mean it's good because let's say if I lose today, then well, Jan has one less headache. Now he has to still worry a little bit, and I think a lot will depend on my next few games, the final games for me and Jan also. because I'm going to have very exciting games coming up with Fabian Grishuk and Alexenko.
Все будет зависеть от следующих партий. У меня следующие туры очень важны.
Yeah, and they're all very well prepared and exciting, and
все мои соперники очень хорошо подготовлены.
And Jan is, of course, also has a lot of interesting games. He's going to play Wang Hao. Still, Wang Hao also played very interesting today. So I think the game of Hao against Jan is going to be very exciting.
Я думаю, что партия Яна с Ван Хау будет очень интересной.
And I think what would be very nice for those who root against Jan or for someone else is that if in the final, before the last round, somebody can still overtake Jan because he's got a black game against Ding Liren, I think. And I think that's not a fun game if you have to hold to qualify to the match and you are playing Ding Liren with black.
Для тех, кто болеет против...
Yes, no,
okay.
It's interesting. I
mean, okay, more thought?
Yes, we always appreciate when you try to share with us.
No, I think it's okay. I give you too much now. Yeah, normally people...
Insight.
Yeah, too much insight, but okay. You're asking.
Я думаю, что я вам рассказываю слишком много.
Okay, есть ли вопросы? Do we have questions? Yeah. Anish, how did you spend your rest day, and what can you say about all these anti-COVID measures which we have now here in Yekaterinburg? You mentioned already some of them at the airport, but what about the situation here, the place where we have the tournament? How can you compare it with your own country measures?
Ани, что вы делали в выходной, и что можете сказать о мерах против ковида, которые здесь?
I know a Russian expression. Строгость законов компенсируется необязательностью их выполнения. Поэтому, yeah, that's why in...
Can you let's try to translate.
Yeah, the strictness of the rules is compensated by the unnecessity of their implementation, is the Russian saying. So I think you don't only have to compare the rules, you also have to compare the way people are following them, because it's... and I think a lot of, I would assume I'm not, as everybody says, I'm not a virologist, but as I would assume that a lot of the COVID development is not only affected by the laws in the country, but by the general feel in the society and the way people actually implement it. So if there's, for example, a state of panic, then people interact a lot less. And sometimes if they're a little bit fed up, then they do more. So I don't think I don't compare necessarily the rules, but I cannot compare very well because in Holland I mostly spent my time not in a hotel, not in a public place, and here I get to see more. For example, that guy doesn't care, she puts a mask, but she's a nose out, there's this funny...
But we have a distance, at least,
GIF about it. Yeah, social distance. They all probably tested and stuff, but so I don't know, it depends per person. And in Holland, I don't know. I mean, I just was only in the home supermarket, and lately in supermarket, people are wearing all masks and being quite careful. But I haven't attended many gatherings, so I don't know. And as for my rest day, this is how I spent it. Bishop takes c6, dc, and d3. This was my rest day.
Это был мой выходной день, пойти слон c6 и d3.
Yes, it's also, I think, depends on you, I believe. I mean, if you go to some public places or not. Let's say, did you visit anything during these days? I mean, like different places except the hotel.
In here, you mean?
Yes.
No,
I mean,
I just walking outside. I mean, they say it's very good also in terms of COVID. So I like to walk. I didn't go to... No, we eat at the hotel mostly. I think the restaurant's very good. So
Я питаюсь в отеле, мне очень нравится здесь еда в ресторанах. Иногда выхожу на прогулки.
It's especially great, like the first 5 or 6, I don't know how many days, but at some point you realize that they start repeating, of course. They cannot have an endless list of dishes, but it's still very good. I'm really happy.
В первые дни еда казалась особенно хорошей, но потом ты замечаешь, что они повторяют свои блюда, но все равно мне нравится.
I think, yes, we went for the second circle.
Yeah, we're going for second round, but it's fine. I mean, I have my favorites there.
Но мне все равно нравится, у меня уже есть любимые блюда.
And I think that's fine. And so there's no need for me to do anything else. I'm just walking around and preparing, and for now it's fine. This tournament is not going to be this long anyway. It was split in 2 halves, so there's no time to get stuck up in a routine.
Any questions? Yes, please.
Anish, last year you were... Anish. Last year you were traveling with Erwin Lamy. This time you're here with Max Warmerdam. What influence has Max on your play or on your stay here?
Аниш, вы приехали в этом году с другим секундантом. Почему?
I think that, yeah, all my trainers and seconds and helpers are very, very good. I was fortunate throughout my career to have worked with only whoever I worked with, I was able to gain something. I barely have any really useless or bad experiences. And yeah, I worked, of course, a lot with Erwin and also with Max. And you cannot really compare or say a particular influence that single one has. There are so many things that that influence the result. So yeah, you cannot really draw a direct conclusion. But I think that by now I'm experienced enough to choose seconds that are really that are fitting me well. And in that regard, both Erwin, who is my long time main trainer, and Max also, yeah, I think they're doing great job. So
I think you decided to sacrifice the youngest one.
Вы решили пожертвовать самым молодым секундантом.
Yeah, no, I have many ways to. I was thinking many ways of saying, like, also as to paraphrase one famous streamer, he comes to the same conclusions but does so 10 minutes earlier. But yeah, yeah, both. I mean, they're all my team members. I love them all in each way, and so it's all great.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Anish, for coming here and sharing all this thought, and all the best for you in the next round.